Welcome here to the next race of the International GT League here at Interlagos. After the first race, Racer Tay takes an early championship lead. Can he hold on to that? We'll have to find out. There are a couple of new racers that didn't start in the Tokyo Expressway, and there are some that were in Tokyo Expressway but are not here. Vitman G then on pole position with Stig V Rob alongside him on the front row. But the lights build, the tension rises. And it's lights out. Away they go. It's a great start from Stig V Rob, who shoots off into the lead. Vitman G looks to be dropping back off the line as it looks like Helgast and Melon are going down the inside, heading down into turn 1 now. It's a short run into the first corner. Melon moves into third place. Vitman G dropping back now. He's got Restair on the outside into turn 2 and makes that move stick. Vitman G drops from pole to 5th. There's someone getting a bit all over the place. The Speakers comes out third corner now alongside Vitman G. As we filter our way through to the back, we've got a handful of replacement races in yet again. So this next straight, Crazy goes down the inside, he has a look. Squeakers goes very wide out to turn 4. There's Vitman G as he rejoins safely, coming now up the straight. Dr. Rob manages to find himself all the way up into 5th. Long Live Helgast goes down the inside of Melon, and that move is stuck. Rezite's gone all the way up into 2nd, so a great start from him. So Helgast goes a little bit sideways though going into this next corner. Into turn 6, they come back down the hill, the sort of roller coaster up and downhill on the track here at Interlagos. Helgast getting a little bit sideways coming out of there. No real pushing and shoving at the moment like there was in the Tokyo Expressway. Rezite comes round, and there is Stig V Rob, who leads the race at the moment, coming toward the end of this first lap after a great start, shot himself up into the lead. There's Dr. Rob coming up through Jinsao, and now as they rise up there, it's crucial to get a good exit here, which I think Dr. Rob has got as he tries to go around the outside of Long Live Helgast. He keeps it on the outside. Does he make it enough though? Does he do it? Is he capable of going for it around the outside? Yes, he does. Dr. Rob moves now into 4th place ahead of Long Live Helgast. However, Helgast looks like he's about to fight back, and he does. He positions his car nicely to go down the inside into turn 1. He's not enough alongside to keep the car there, and that means that Helgast couldn't fight back on Dr. Rob. Melon looking a bit tricky out of the traction zones of turn 2. Here comes Helgast around turn 3. He's now dropped down to 5th. Squeakers is up into 6th. Vitman G has been the big loser, and that's twice now that the person on pole position has dropped to 8th on the first lap. So maybe pole position is a curse more than a blessing this season. It's certainly looking like it. Rising up the hill now, there's Dr. Rob trying to have a look around the outside of Melon. It was Wizard Egan having a look all over the back of Squeakers. Vitman G, the Atenza versus another Atenza of Fubuki, trying to have a look around the outside at 5. It's switched now down into 6, and there are some you can make overtakes around here, but it's not the easiest of things to do. But it's not impossible to overtake here at Interlagos. The main overtaking spot will be down into turn 1, where previously we have seen some 3-wide action going down there. So then Frosty has dropped to the back and has Crazy all over the back of him. Is he going to have a look around the outside? I don't think he is. Nissan GTS. Here's Hoobies off. Hoobies well off into the distance. He must have made some form of mistake there, did the Dutchman, because that's not the track at all. As he's come around to Jinsao, he's come out and I think he's just gone off, and that's a colossal error that has dropped him to the back. Next up now, as we see Crazy still on the back of Extra Frosty. Is he close enough to have a look down into turn 1? This is probably the main overtaking spot. Crazy does pull out to the inside, but it's not enough, is it? Into turn 1, no, he's not enough alongside him, and they filter through the centre S. Someone's getting a little bit sideways. There's yellow flags. I think someone's gone off. It's Helgast! Helgast's gone off at the Curve de Sol. I wonder what's gone on here then. I'm sure it's intriguing to see what's occurred here. There's Squeakers stops, so Squeakers must have been involved in that. He has waited, which is within the rules. If you are at fault with an incident of another driver, then you are the one to give back the position. So Extra Frosty then comes through ahead of Crazy, then up the hill at turn 5. He's still managed to stay in front of mid-stack. Yellow flags on. There is Hooby Shooby just behind these two, battling away for 8th place. Fubuki's just up the road in 7th. One of the replacement races, as is Huib. So Vitman G then dropped to 6th, but he's managing to gain places as there's just been mistakes for other drivers. And Resete has ended up in the lead of this race now, with Stig V Rob in second, Dr. Rob in third. So then, Vitamin G 6th, 5th Wisdegan, 4th Melon. He's looking good. The Austrian in the same car as he was in last season in his Porsche 911. It's pretty much the same livery as well as the one he had last season. Frosty, Crazy and Huey are all racing around, coming up the hill now. You're trying to get the path of least resistance in the run up to the line, because it's all going to be on straight line speed at this point in that final sector, and so that's quite crucial to get a good lap here at Interlagos. Frosty's still there, look, as we ride on the helmet cam of Crazy. You can see him in the cockpit view here, out of the Curva do Sol at turn 3. Into the Curva do Sol now with Extra Frosty just up ahead. He's in 8th place, it's 9th for Crazy at the moment. And rounding out the top 10 is Weeb. As they rise up the hill now, you need a good exit out of turn 4, something that Crazy's not got, and Huib is looking all over the back of Crazy, and he's going to try and go around the outside at the top of the hill at turn 5. No, he's made the move just before they get to turn 5. Overtakes in turn 5 are uncommon, but they're possible, I suppose, if you really have the bravery to try and go around the outside or on the inside at the double apex at 5. And now Huib's going around the outside of Extra Frosty, and that one has worked at turn 7. Brilliant moves there from Huib, and he's getting 2 positions from that. All about the positioning of his cars. We look Melon and getting a little bit of a snap out of control there. Wizard Egan comes through in 5th place now, the winner last time out in Tokyo Expressway. However, as he was a non-racer, he got relegated out of the results. But here he is then, Wizard Egan all over the back of Melon. Is he going to try and have a look around the outside? Yes, he does. He goes to the outside into turn 1. Under the brakes, there he goes, around the outside, and is it enough? I think he's just about gotten the exit speed out of turn 1. A brilliant move there from Wizard Egan around the outside of the first corner. And there comes Melon, now drops the position. Egan moves up into 4th, just outside the top 3 now. He's going to want to keep pushing to get that into the podium position. Melon moves over to the outside to try and have a look down the inside of Wizard Egan, then decides against it. He's too far back, getting a good exit here. Up the hill now into turn 5. At the top, there's Dr. Rob, there's Resete. Stig V Rob has taken the lead of this race. Resete sends it down the inside and goes a little bit deeper out of the exit of the corner, so that he's made the move, but there was a very compromised line through there from Resete. Is Dr. Rob going to have a go at him? Yes, he does, down the inside of the next corner. Tail leaves him just enough room, but Dr. Rob does not find that move round there. He doesn't get the overtake. There's Wizard Egan trying to catch up. Melon looking a little out of shape coming out of there. Let's see as he go down the hill and then back round, flat out through here until your tyres start to go off. Resete trying to get a good exit, but it doesn't look like he's got the best exit. Dr. Rob this time opts to go down the inside of this corner like he went around the outside of Helgas, and the move is nicely done. Tay slips into the slipstream, now moves back out. However, they all go into the pit. Stig in, Tay in, Dr. Rob stays out. Who else is in? Wizard Egan, does he also join in? Yes, he does. Egan in. Vitamin G's next on the track. Melon goes through. Dr. Rob goes through. Vitamin G goes through. Fubuki through. Extra Frosty, is he pitching in? No. Neither is Huib, who's pushing him down the straight. Huib goes to the inside. Going down into turn 1, under braking. There he goes, down the inside, and that's the move done. Does Frosty fight back? No, he doesn't. Sits back, waits for the opportunity. Slight corner cut on turn 2. Dr. Rob inherits the victory as the race leaders pit in now. Melon moves up to 2nd, Vitamin G in 3rd, 4th is Fubuki 5th, Huib Shurnius, but he's having to defend off against Extra Frost. I think there's a little bit of contact. Going down the brakes into turn 4, and there goes Huib. He's ahead, up into P5 now. Solid position for Huibi. Next up then is Frosty, just behind him in 6th. He's still trying to keep at him. Let's see if Frosty can go for a move here around this Interlagos circuit. We're going to have a look down the inside. No, he doesn't, but he goes a little bit deep into the braking zone. Misses that one a little. That's going to have lost him a bit of time. And time is everything here in motorsport. It's not something you want to be missing out on. If you lose time, you therefore lose speed, and that's not good. Resete ahead of Crazy. Now Resete moves his sights on to Extra Frosty to see how he can, if he can get past him. There is Stig V Rob just in the background, who has pitted in. And Wizard Egan just behind him. Down the inside of Extra Frosty. He has a look, there's a bit of contact. I don't know if Frosty saw he was there, but he definitely has now. And who gets the better exit? I think Frosty's just in front there with his GTR. Just edges in front. What can Razor do to respond? Can Razor do anything to respond? As Fubuki and Dr. Rob peel off into the pit lane, putting Melon in the lead now. Vitamin G second, third is Weeby Shooby. Next up now is Rested. Does he send it down the inside into turn one? Yes, he does. He licks the stamp and sends it. Rested takes fourth place. And just edges out on Extra Frosty, but I can guarantee Frosty's not going to give up there. He is going to want to fight back. And I'm sure he will do as we approach the halfway point in this race. So then, here's Crazy Bullocks defending from Stig v Rob and Wizard Egan. Wizard Egan moves to the outside into turn 4. He gets shown the road on the outside. Stig moves across under the braking zone. Stig gets mounted. Egan, this is meant to be family-friendly content. Let's not be doing that, please. But either way, Egan finds a way in front using a questionable overtake. Stig v Rob drops the position to 7th. 8th place now is Crazy trying to follow these two. Dr. Rob is behind him after pitting in, but Egan has not been overtaken yet by Stig again. Recite has gotten in front of Extra Frosty now. Whip is his next target. Recite's next target. Here comes Wizard Egan to have a look on Extra Frosty. Does he accelerate out the exit? Yes, he does, trying to find the way through. Tries to go around the outside, coming here around toward the end of the middle sector. Frosty's tyres are surely going off as he's not yet pitted, and Egan's just gone around the outside there. And now Stiggs has a look down the inside, gets the better exit out of Junsound. I think that's the move done. Just about. Yes, it is, and that's surely Stig, but he's still fighting back. Frosty's still on the outside. He's actually just in front. This means Frosty's not pitting in yet. He's going another lap on. Stig moves to the outside. I don't know why to commit to keeping that inside line. Frosty goes over to defend. There's a bit of contact. I think Stig tried to go for a move, but Frosty caught wise to it. Moved over. Frosty's been shot off to the outside. Holds it back through turn 2. What great racing this is, but in the end, Stig has found his way past. Fantastic wheel-to-wheel action between Stig v Rob and Extra Frosty, which has caused Frosty to end up losing the position in the end, but a brilliant battle from Stig. He went in for the move and he stayed there, and he made that one stick. Brilliant move. Vitamin G still leads as he's not pitted. Rest leader of those that have pitted, as he now sits in second place. So as we see Stig v Rob recently overtaking Extra Frosty. Crazy goes a little bit wide coming out of turn 4. His tyres are really worn. His fuel is looking very depleted. And so that's a case of he's going to need to pit in, and surely Crazy's pitting in on this lap. Whip is now up into 9th. Long live Helgas. He takes 10th place. Comes Helgas now up the hill. Very up and down hill this circuit. The massive amounts of elevation changing. Crazy just goes wide. He just goes wide. And there goes Weeb. He slides his way past as Crazy makes a small mistake which costs him a lot of time. It's little things like that that can cost you time, as Dr. Rob comes up the hill right behind Extra Frosty. Does Dr. Rob have the pace advantage here? It doesn't look so. He stays in the slipstream. Frosty peels in and robs us of a battle between Dr. Rob and Extra Frosty. Bit unfortunate, but Extra Frosty finally pits in with no more fuel left in the car. He ran that one to the edge. Very close indeed. So then that moves Melon now up into 5th. I think Extra is losing a lot of time as we look on the replays. This is Vitamin G's start as we start on board with the man on pole position. The clearest run into turn 1. It's not the longest run into turn 1. The lights go out here. He did not get a good launch at all. Stig v Rob flies past. Excellence off the line from Stig v Rob. There's already yellow flags apparently. Long of Helgas also snips it down the inside, and that makes him move from him. Brilliant start from Helgas. Melon goes around the outside turn 2. There's Resite following Melon through. So Vitamin G just try to go around wide and get the better side. He didn't get a good launch, and then coming through the first couple of corners, he just didn't look to be going much speed. So it's a bit of a problem for Squeakers, who launches himself across the other end of the track at turn 4. Slightly drifts wide from Vitamin J, drops him down behind Dr. Rob. Squeakers fighting along his inside here as they rise up the hill. There he is in his Stefan Carl tribute car. On board now with Crazy in the helmet car, in the cockpit cam. The lights go out now. And there they go. Extra Frosty comes off there. He gets a great start. Not the best start from Crazy. A bit of an okay start. There goes Squeakers, who does get a good start into turn 1. Around the outside of Frosty. Only just for him. He's now took it right in behind the Aston Martin of Dr. Rob. Yep, there he goes. Dr. Rob tries to have a look past Frosty, who gets forced a little bit out wide there. Now what does Crazy make the overtake going down into turn 4? He tucks in the slipstream behind the GTI, moves now over to the inside, going down into turn 4 under the brakes. Has a look there, nice move. There's Vitamin G running a bit wide, there's Squeakers running very wide now, you watch. This is a bit later on in the race, this is going on to lap 3. There's Squeakers and Hellgas, this one must have been the incidents come through turn 3. Squeakers goes very wide, as he rejoins he hits Hellgas. Hellgas gets on the grass. I wonder if Hellgas got sent onto the grass and then just kept his foot on, because there is a little bit of grass there on the outside of turn 3, and if you're on the grass, if you keep your foot in and keep accelerating, you are gone. If you touch the brake, you are gone. So realistically, if you're in the grass, you just come off everything, let the car roll across. Yes, you'll lose time, but you shouldn't spin. So it's probably the better thing of doing that then. So it's more ideal. I think Hellgas just got pushed a little bit wide onto the grass, and then things just went wrong from there. And that's why Hellgas ended up facing the wrong way. Extra Frosty behind long live Hellgas. What can Frosty do? Is Frosty in a position to make a move? Now these two, despite being in such great positions over the last couple of seasons, have not yet won a race here in the IGTL. It's somewhat shocking. They have the pace, or at least in some races, both in seasons 1 and 2, they've had the pace to win races. They've just not. So then Melon comes round now, heading into Junsao. Vitamin G 6th, 7th is Weeb Shernius, 8th, 9th is Hellgas Frosty. This battle we're seeing now for 8th place here on lap 9 of 16. So we're into the second half of this race now. And who is going to come out on top? Well, so far it's Recite, but it's not over yet. There are many more laps to go, all 8 of them. So then, here comes Extra Frosty rising up the hill and into along the start-finish straight. Now there's the pit lane. You can cross that white line, but when it starts to have checkers, it starts to diagonal lines, you cannot cross that, otherwise you will be handed a penalty, which is not good for anyone's race. So note to everyone who's paying attention, do not cross the diagonal white lines, because that is a penalty. So the next Frosty comes round, and there is Long Live Hellgas into around out of turn 4, 3, heading into turn 4 on the back straight here. It's a fairly long straight, not as long as the final corners, then you rise into turn 1, but there we go. Out of the braking zone at turn 4, rising now up the hill. Still following Long Live Hellgas, trying to get closer. I'm not 100% sure. I think the gap appears to visually be staying the same, like there's not many. Like Frosty's not gaining over Hellgas, but Hellgas is not gaining over Frosty, which is a good news for both of them. But the bad news is that the gap is staying the same, and that is always a threat. Recite, Wizdy and Stig V Rob all in for their second pit stop. Dr. Rob continues on for another lap, which puts him now into the lead again. He gets promoted up into the race lead. Vitamin G comes accelerating around now. These little kinks in the road, flat out, as is most of the final sector. Jinsao is the only braking zone in the final sector, but they are still classed as corners, which is a bit odd. I mean, if you want to class them as a corner, you can do. Obviously some people won't, because I mean, they don't really look like corners, and after all they're flat out. But I mean, there are corners on this track that are flat out. Vitamin G though, sticking it down the inside of turn 3. Where's Deegan rejoins on the outside, on the inside there on the left. Vitamin G just makes a move past Melord, and now he's looking to try and get his way past Wizard Egan. Just a bit front, there's a bit of contact, a bit of pushing and shoving going on, as I think Melord might have turned across into turn 4. Vitamin G moves now up into second. Wizard Egan not giving up, as there goes Melord, dropping the position down. And Melord has not managed to make the position in the end, although Wizard Egan pit in, and he's pretty much not in this race. And someone who is Resident is sticking his way down, sort of making his intentions clear, forcing away past Melon, and that's a move done. Resident moves now up into 4th. Remember, Melon last season was in that battle for 7th in the championship. A battle which ultimately he didn't get. BG over 28 managed to grab 7th, but they were in the end fighting for the championship. It became very close for them. They've not shared a track yet, but we'll see if over the course of this season they'll end up fighting for that championship position again. Wizard Egan now trying to make a move, as we just saw. Dr. Rob goes into the pit. Stig v Rob on the back of Weeb. Coming out of Junsao, a good exit here is needed. The Mercedes versus the Atenza. Who's going to get the better straight line speed? I think the Mercedes might just have the better engine through these final couple of corners. And now into the final corner as ahead. This is classed as the final corner. This one here. Stig v Rob goes around the outside the final corner, side by side. Stig v Rob looks to commit to the outside. Who brakes later? I think it might have just been Weeb braking ever so slightly later, if not on the same time. Stig cuts back to go into turn 1, into turn 2. Yellow flags somewhere. I think someone has had an incident. I think they have. I'm not sure who it is. Anyway, coming out of the pits is some drivers, and there is a Dr. Rob rejoining in 6th place behind. I think it's Rezate has had an incident somewhere. Stig v Rob still trying to find a way past Weeb. Makes the gap up here. There goes Stig v Rob. He's made the overtaking into P4 now. Up into P4. The man who will definitely want to go for the championship. There's Melond. There is Wizard Egan. And there is Vitamin G leading this race. This late into the Grand Prix. There is not long left. Wizard Egan comes round in P2 now, chasing down the race leader. Melond in 3rd. Stig v Rob just fending off against Weeb Shernius. Weeb, very fast driver. Stig v Rob, also a very fast driver. And Dr. Rob, a good and fast driver. So some great drivers here up at the front. Melond, he's doing okay to hold on to that P3 spot against the championship contender last season. Stig v Rob just missed out in Le Mans, and we are not going to let him forget that one. So then Stig v Rob, still on the back of Melond. He's really got a good gap here, and I think he might have the run out of Junsao on the back of the Porsche. German manufactured cars, Mercedes versus Porsche. Who will come out on top? Stig v Rob. Is he going to do what he did to Weeb? He goes to the outside. It looks so as he comes around the final corner. It looks as though he's going to try it around the outside into the first corner. He sticks that. Again, let's see. Who's going to brake later? It's difficult to tell from this angle, but it looks like they've again braked at around the same point. Not wanting to push the braking boundaries too far. Stig v Rob keeps it around the outside of turn 1. Switches to the inside for the second corner in the centre S, because that's the nature of the corner. And Stig v Rob now moves into 3rd. His next target will be Vitamin G. Great moves here as Dr. Rob goes down the inside, heading down the Retroposta down into turn 4. Dr. Rob gets him under brakes, just brakes nice and easy into the car, into turn 4, and there they go. Next up now is Melond. What can Melond do? Can he defend against Dr. Rob? Dr. Rob struggles to go around the outside at turn 5 at the top of the hill, the double apex corner here. Is it enough? Yes, he does. He slides to the inside of the second part on the second apex. Dr. Rob now under brakes into turn 6. He's made the move stick, and Weeb actually tries to capitalise on that by following Melon through. It's not enough. It's all of a sudden this race has taken an adrenaline shot and gotten really exciting toward the end of the race here. Weeb trying to find his way past Melon. It's not enough at the moment. He's not able to do it. Next, so Stig v Rob still having to defend against Dr. Rob. So it's Stig v Dr. Rob. Interesting. So he's literally Stig v Rob at the moment for 3rd place, although Stig could be going for 2nd on Vitamin G. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Or is he too far back? It's difficult to tell because we're currently watching Weeb all over the back of Melond, the Dutchman versus the Austrian. It's like Max Verstappen versus Niki Lauda. Let's see how well this goes then. Weeb tries to have a look down the inside. It's not quite. We can't really see from this angle. Stig fending off against Dr. Rob. Two quick drivers. Who's going to come out on top for P3 in this race? Around into turn 3. It's not enough at the moment. Just in the background you see Weeb and Melon going side by side, but at the moment it's 5th place for Weeb. He's managed to make the move by the looks of things on the graphic that you can see on the left. Stig v Rob into 3rd. There's Dr. Rob into 4th. He's in 4th, trying to keep with him. Melon has indeed dropped down to 6th. He did hold him up, but Dr. Rob shaping up a move on Stig v Rob. Not enough there. He's not put himself close enough yet. It's still not over. It's still not over. Stig and Doctor are really giving it everything. Who is going to come out on top? Stig v Rob still tries to defend. He goes around the outside. Does Dr. Rob, because that's the only place he can go, but it's not enough there. Here comes Dr. Rob. Does he have a go down the inside? No, he doesn't. He tries to go around the outside. No, there's not enough room. So Dr. Rob really trying to give it everything. Stig v Rob doing some decent-ish defending. Here they go then. Dr. Rob is being held off now by Stig v Rob. Weeb is defending himself against Melon. Some very close battles going on. One for third, one for fifth, and here comes Dr. Rob getting the exit out of Junsao. A rise up the hill, and Dr. Rob's just about done it. Yes, he has. Is Stig gonna fight back? I think he might try. It looks as though they're going along the pit line. You can cross that single white line. Stig tries to shape himself up. He's done plenty of moves around the outside in the last couple of laps. Can he do another one around Dr. Rob in under the brakes? It's not enough. Dr. Rob holds the inside line, and that's P3 now for Dr. Rob. So then Stig v Rob now tries to have a look around the outside at the Curve de Sol. Not quite. Onto the back straight. You need a good exit through the Curve de Sol to get a run onto this back straight and into turn 4. As he shape a move? Yes, he does. He pulls over to the inside to make a look down the inside. Makes the overtake. He's done it. But has he gone in too deep into the braking zone? Yes, he has, because Dr. Rob cuts back and they go side by side, rising up the hill. Incredible racing here. Stig v Rob, does he try it around the outside? No, he doesn't. Here we go then. Stig v Rob versus Dr. Rob. It's still not over, and we're on the penultimate lap of this Interlagos race. It's been an exceptional battle between these two. Stig v Rob still in 4th place. He's managed to lose the position. Dr. Rob has gained it this late into the race. Is Stig v Rob close enough to come back in him? I don't think he is. It looks like it could be all over now for Dr. Rob. For Stig v Rob's chances of 3rd. Vitman G, he remains in 2nd. Is he going to get hunted down for P2 in this race? Or is Vitman G going to hold off for 2nd and really get a good start to the season? Weeb then still holding off against Melon. Melon looks to be closing on the Atenza here. Coming down on the straight. Is it going to be enough? Here he comes then. Through as we now see Dr. Rob in 3rd, hunting down Vitman G. I think the gap is coming down now. Stig v Rob, he's up into 4th. 3rd place is still Dr. Rob. Stig v Rob. Weeb then still holding off against the Atenza. No, sorry, the Atenza of Weeb is holding off against the 911 of Melon. Does he get the run out of turn 3? It doesn't look like Melon's gonna have enough to get in front here, as we are now on the final lap of this race. Vitman G still in 2nd though. Dr. Rob closing in fast. What can anyone do? Will there be any last lap changes? Wizard Egan has really just done what he did in Tokyo Expressway. Really got out in front, stayed out in front. He's not really been touched since. He's had very little in the way of issues with other drivers. Once he's gotten out in front, he's just stayed there, and that's been quite good. It's what you need from a good race winner. Here comes Dr. Rob though around. Is he going to get Vitman G at the death? As they come through into Junsao now, it's the last real overtaking opportunity. But here we go then. Here he is at the end of Interlagos. He won in Tokyo Expressway, and it's looking good as he comes around the final corners. Your IGTL Season 3, Race 2, race winner is Wizard Egan! Yay. And in 2nd place is Dr. Rob. Vitman G's had a problem. Stig v Rob comes home in 3rd. Is Vitman G? I think he's run out of fuel. He's definitely run out of fuel. Huibi goes into 4th and 5th for Melon. Vitman G finishes only in 6th. How unfortunate. He's run out of fuel on the final lap, has pushed it to the limit. And it seems to be all over. Restate moves now up into 7th. 8th is Extra Frosty. 9th place is going to be Long Live Hellgast. 10th is going to be, so there you are, 9th place, Long Live Hellgast. 10th, Crazy. 11th, Squeakers. And 12th, Fabuki. Your race winner then, Wizard Egan. You can see the ERT sponsorship on some of these drivers, really good. It's literally in your face, as there it is. So then, a great race here at Interlagos. You can see Weeb and Melon running in formation after that great battle they had. Vitman G has got to be disappointed with himself. Only just running out of fuel. I think that's the only thing I can imagine, really. Unless he was clearing an in-game penalty right to death, but it's still disappointing for him. Your race winner then, Wizard Egan. 2 for 2, but he is a non-racer, so he will be kicked out now after this great race. Subscribe and let us know who you think got driver of the day. Who was your best performer of the race today? Let us know down in the comments. And then we're going to take a quick look at how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. But first, we'll see the fastest lap, again taken by Wizard Egan, going on to lap 8. Enjoy. That's yet another incredible lap from Wizard Egan. However, as he's a non-racer, the fastest lap point goes to Racer. So how does this race affect the championship? Stig v Rob now moves to the top of the table, only 4 points clear of Racer, with Vitman G dropping to third. It's looking like a real close battle at the top. There's a bit of a gap though from third to fourth, as Extra Frosty sits 19 points behind the championship leader. It's looking close down the bottom of the field as well, with Squeakers, Robbo and Luckman separated by only 3 points, and Luckman only 3 points off Crazy. We'll have to see how the rest of the season comes out.